All right. Hello, hello, hello. All right. Okay. It looks like you can hear me again. Um, for those of you out there, please let me know if it's coming through. Okay. Gotta love when things update. I couldn't even pass it. I was like, nope, not no update, no update, and it was like locked. It like forced me to do it and then reset everything. All right. So it looks like sounds coming through. I don't know what quality it's gonna be in. Yeah. Means this over here. All right. Save that. Okay. All right. So we'll see if the chat's going to work or not. It looks like sounds coming through. I'll do the best we can with it. We'll have an abbreviated session today. I guess this is going to be what I'm going to do all the rest of the day is trying to fix this. So yeah, shrink this. Nope, not what I want to do. Lovely. Nope, I don't want to do that. All right. I don't know if it's working or not. We'll see. It looks like it's showing me online. So I'll try the best I can. All right. So right now, obviously not a lot of movement compared to yesterday. There was so much movement. The data today came in a little bit more mixed. Obviously, the pound data, um, obviously not necessarily helping the pound, coming down a little bit farther than it was. I'm shocked that he jumped at 2%. You're seeing the euro pound up 38, biggest mover percentage wise on the board. Pound dollar down. We talked about this potentially being red today anyway. You're seeing dollar Swiss down as well. Dollar yen holding a little bit firm. Dollar CAD obviously down a little bit more, 53 from where we were yesterday. Aussie up just a smidge. So the data today that we got, Empire State Manufacturing looks awesome. It's great. The PPI data was expected to be just slightly positive. There was an adjustment in the past, which kind of messes it up, but it is a red number. Retail sales number. The retail sales number is good. And this is what we were talking about yesterday being potentially a point 0.1. There was an adjustment too. It was actually higher than before, which always leads it to be a little bit different, make things a little bit strange. Um, so with that said, oil inventory, we did get the API report overnight. We're have to kind of breeze through this one. The forecast was a little bit different, but it came in more or less as expected, so not too much different there. Tonight we have the unemployment change in Australia. I think that's going to be where the trade is for the night. Um, can't, it's like, oh, I went to go maximize the window, and now I can't shrink it. I'm like stuck. Yeah, so much. Oh, God, I hate when things update on purpose. Um, So I think that's actually will be a decent trade tonight for this Aussie position. With this ticking up, I think some weakness will come in, particularly with the constant strength rolling in. So I kind of like that one. I think that's pretty decent. Looking at tomorrow morning, we have unemployment claims. Again, that 221 seems to be a positive one. Seems to be kind of what the baseline is right now. Philly Fed expected to be negative, but again, the Empire State number today was a big surprise coming forward. And again, people are spending, manufacturing needs to happen. All right, so that's kind of where we're at. Let's go over into the charts. And again, like I said, we're going to have an abbreviated session today. VIX obviously down. All the data was great, exactly where it should be. The dollar rebounding a little bit. And again, as you can see that data, it kind of loaded it up from the European session, pushed it down, came back, and that 104 was a big piece. Again, big round number, shot it higher. The full retracement is not there, and I think it'll be slow. And again, even with that data, even seeing today's data today, right? Seeing it have again, a little bit mixed. Again, the core PPI numbers being both down. Dollar, again, is rallying back up again. Indices, again, in the green. Overall, I think that's the right move for the indices. Again, retail sales mean people are buying money, which means earnings are going to be good. It's always a problem when, again, retail sales numbers are not good, right? Means people are not spending money, means earnings will be bad down the road. But right now, they're still spending. Not at the same rate, but it's still positive numbers. They are still continuing to spend, which is good. All the indices, for the most part, a little bit in the green, about a 0.25%. Russell, a little bit more. I'm actually surprised Russell's up so high. I actually wouldn't be surprised if that kind of tears out and goes a little bit lower. Crude oil down a little bit, but we're still talking 77. It's not 80, which is great, but we are back down at that 77 mark. Natural gas is up too, 2%. Kind of surprising, but we are at that 317. We were at like kind of 319 yesterday, 317 yesterday. So there was a drop and then a little bit of an increase. So not tons of movement. You can see right now gold and silver are split. Gold is back down under 1960. And silver, it's up a little bit. It's up at 23.28. I don't know if I would. Um, I think that's kind of the wrong spot for it. I don't think that is a good spot for where silver should be. I do think it should be lower. So again, take that for what it's worth. We'll kind of dive into that. As far as Aussie dollar goes, we're talking about 65 being a big area. You can see at about 3 o'clock yesterday, we did roll back off again. Love the way this is set up. You can see they rallied up, and again, dollar strength coming back in, even though the data was not great. There is a Harry Potter trade coming in here rather soon, and again, we did get the bounce. It didn't reverse as early as we wanted, but at this point, I think look for a short trade in the Aussie dollar. Right, right here, 1 to 3 is right there. Again, plenty of range there, and again, we're getting some basing here, so this is good. Again, overall dollar strength. Let me put some tags on this one. We'll move on. Like I said, got to kind of do a little bit of an abbreviated run today. Um, Melissa has Kip, and she can't take him much past. She has a meeting this morning, and he'll be, as soon as he's told he has to get out of her room, yeah, it'll be crazy. He's already trying to bang on the door. All right, so there's your Aussie trade. Aussie again, we were also talking about a reversal. It's great that we came back down again. We did break above, and yesterday we mentioned this is a 4 hour or daily level. It could turn anywhere up here. We need some actual data. With the Aussie news tonight, and again, it's looking like it could be potentially Aussie weakness with that unemployment rate going up. Both of those are kind of set up nice high. Now, this one also does have a Harry Potter. We can remove this old level now. We were just looking for some type of reversal past. There is basically a level of basing right here. And again, it looks very, very similar. It's got some room to run. It's got to go about 35 pips down. So this is more of kind of a tonight type piece, as well as a yen type piece. And it's about, 13, 14 pips worth of risk. And then the other direction, let's throw these on there as well, just so you can see it real quick. And then again, I'm going to move on. It's going to be hard to get everything in, but again, she's got a meeting. She's got a call that she's got to jump on. And then I get to spend the whole rest of the day trying to figure this broadcaster out. Ugh. I had all the settings. Like I said, remember a couple months ago, like it killed, for some reason it updated and then killed chat. I lost chat, right? I couldn't see chat anymore, and I had to have like 2 windows open to be able to see it. I loaded it up today, and bam, chat was back again. I was like, okay, let me connect it. And it connected it to the wrong YouTube. And now it's trying to broadcast to like the wrong YouTube. Or it's trying to pull chat from the wrong YouTube, but there's nothing over there. And I can't, there's no option to like, no, use this broadcast chat. So yeah, quite frustrating. But I had to create custom settings and do everything. So yeah. Anyway, again, look for the reversal. No trend right now. Again, get some yen help as well as I say also weakness tonight. Euro dollar. So we're looking for kind of this pattern. I was like, I don't know where it's going to turn. I know that there's a level up there that's not bad, and you can see the 108.75. It turned out that that was it. And here, I'll move this over. There's your push. Not too bad, right? Look at that. I mean, all I did was literally just move this, and we said, I don't know where it's coming in, but look for that pattern. And guess what? There you go. And it even kind of did the little hiccup. It even did like the little hiccup here, this little down. That's not too bad. Look at that. So not a bad little trade. At this point, again, what we saw is that we saw it rallying up in time for news, and there's what the news is. It did not spike through the top. So again, this one survived, and your 1 to 3 is sitting right there. So you literally just got out of it within the last half hour. Okay, so we were calling for that reversal. Now, it is basing. There is somewhat of a little Harry Potter trade. So if you are looking for something, there's probably a little bit in there, but I'd like to see it actually form a decent base and create another one of these kind of pushes like this. The top one was good. We're looking for something else, a little addition here. You guys know the pattern for Harry Potter. So it's there. There's plenty of room to run. About 100 pips more to go to the downside. And again, I'd look for wherever the break is. Again, I got to see the base. It's not there yet, but it's probably coming in. But anywhere, somewhere around a break of 108.23 ish to the downside. Okay. Euro pound. We got the push down. We missed it. We talked about that yesterday. And all it's done is retrace back up again. I think it's justified. You can see the news came in. This morning was at 2 o'clock. Oops. Right there. Here's your 2 o'clock spike, right? So your 2 o'clock spike sent this higher. And again, is it a giant spike? No, it's 15 pips, right? Pushed it back down, loaded it up, and at 4:30, we reversed back higher. And again, overall, yes, the data today definitely more weak. The pound. Again, is the European Union in a better position than the UK? Excuse me. No, absolutely not. But even though this went, I mean, again, this is obviously a red number. It went over 2% down. I think that's a big sign that no matter what happens, it's going to be very unlikely that I don't think there's much news out there that could really send the pound higher at this point. I mean, like as far as interest rate raises go, right? There's plenty of economic data that can give it strength, but as far as the strength from a rate change going higher. I mean, if you're dropping 2% in a month, just let that thing continue to roll. It sounds like they've finally gotten to the point where it's been restrictive enough that it is coming down, particularly with energy. Obviously, we know energy costs. But we are getting up to an area. Again, all that weakness is coming in. We have an area up here where again, it rolled before. A little bit of confirmation there. Again, just bear in mind this is not a very big trade. We're talking about a 7, 8 pip risk zone. So if it turns and flips from there, again, not a big one. Euro yen also pushing higher. We knew that this was also a big area, and we kind of found a top in it a little bit yesterday. It hasn't really cycled back again. You can see early morning at 2 o'clock, we did get a push back to the downside, but it was kind of emotional, and all it did was go right back up. So again, we're in the 164 area. We talked about make sure you're out in the shorts. This was a decent run. We didn't know where the top was. We were looking at it here, and it ended up pushing higher, but that was a drop of about 87 pips. So 3/4 of a daily ATR worth of movement, and then a retrace back again. So again, I still think we're waiting for something to drop on this one as far as the euro goes. Again, not there yet. Not ready, but again, it's coming from the yen. I hate relying upon the yen for much help there. So yeah, again, we're probably clear, so we could probably remove this zone now and then just look for a new top. Um, I think it's got some issues now, but we need some European data. I think what we really need is that European data. So, yeah, yeah. Again, the yen is always a weird one. You get those interventions, and it's a proxy. Same thing. Yesterday, I said, hey, listen, if we can get all the way up top, I like that one. All the way up to the 125.37. I said, look for the confirmation of a red, green, red. Extend this out. Here, put this all the way up to the top. You know, red, green, red here. Nope. Red, green, red here. Nope. Red, green, red here. Nope. Red, green, red here. Yup. Take it. Put the box on. Right. There's your red, green, red. There's your confirmation up again in the last night. And then here's your news candle for the pound. Right. We talked about the pound. It was right up at the level. So again, here is your trade. It's well past at this point. Trade is over. 1 to 3 is right there. You're out immediately. And the reality was, I mean, there's a green, red, green kind of pulling back again here if you held it. But if you've been trailing it down, again, maybe the spike here, the US data, right? Maybe the US data. But you can see it's well on its way, right? It's well on its way back to the downside. So, this was a 12 for 38, 12 for 40. Had you been, are you still, if you're still running it, you're at up 90 pips at this point from that reversal this morning. So a decent trade, but, let's see, put it right there. Yeah, yeah, I think it continues to deteriorate for today as the dollar strength rolls back in. So again, that's why it's so important to find these tops, find these reversals, find these confirmations. And again, you didn't have to pull the trigger here; it did pull back, and you could have ran it down. So, pound yen. Okay, pound yen did the same thing. We said, hey, listen, look for that reversal. There's your red. There's your green. There's your red. Looks exactly the same, right there. And it pulled back up, and it was sitting there for news, and is pushed down. I think this one is also out of the way. 1 to 3 is right there, so you can see it's past. There's 3.09, so it is past. You can see again the 9 o'clock candle this morning or the 8:30 candle this morning pushed it out. All right, so right now I think this one probably continues to deteriorate. Again, this is pound weakness, yeah, not a yen strength coming in. So I do still believe that the yen strength will actually help out. No idea who that is. I believe that's a call for the boys have a shadow day tomorrow, so yeah, I'll have to check that one later. All right, so again, I expect to see pound weakness to roll on this one. I think we need to get some help from the yen, but timing when the yen help is going to come in is going to be a big deal. But again, that's how important it is to find these red, green, red confirmations with this turn and split. It's there. Dollar CAD. Dollar CAD continue to deteriorate down. Now, I'm actually surprised we didn't get much more of a response on this one. We talked about a level down here, the 61.8. It was decent, and you can see that it came down, it hit it, and it shot back up again, and it hit it, and kind of based back around, and then shot back up again. So not ideal for a Harry Potter trade. I'm actually surprised at 10:30 we didn't get more of a reversal yesterday. It was only pips. If you were trying to time this one, you took a loss on it. Again, if you take a 10 pip loss, not a big deal. Um, it was not a bad level, and you can see it kind of based before, and then kind of came up and used it to drop and continue to push the downside. So, um, right now, where can this one end? It's funny. We're seeing dollar strength everywhere else except versus the CAD. There's a level down here, and I think right now, I don't know if I take this immediately as a kind of an entry. I think right now this is more of a target than anything else, right? And again, that would be green with a black on the side. The 136.41 level. Um, we got some room. Again, could it potentially be? It's another 40 pips. Could it be a reversal point? Sure, sure. But we're seeing dollar strength everywhere else, so it's kind of odd that we're not necessarily seeing it here. So look for it again if we can get the confirmation pattern, right? If we can get this confirmation pattern in here, then yes, it may be an area to pull the trigger. But right now, there's not really a lot of data until we come over here to building permits, and that's not really going to necessarily be a good currency mover. So, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not exactly sure what's given this, the CAD so much resilience versus us, but we're seeing it. Especially when we're seeing dollar strength everywhere else, but we're just not seeing it versus the CAD. I'm kind of curious with the rationale. And again, oil, not really, you know, I wouldn't say oil's a huge factor, but yeah, it's there. Dollar Swiss. All right, so we're looking for a bounce. So dollar Swiss yesterday, we talked about something happening in this area, and you can see it came down and pulled up away. And again, love this as a short area. Love when we see this, right? Three wicks like that with green in there and red. Love that. That's like my favorite. Like, oh, there you go. There's a hidden zone. And then we started the base before the zone. Whenever you see the base before the zone, it tends to get blown up, right? It's not, it didn't even hit it. It's like, yep, forming sellers. And where those sellers came in at, guess what happened right there? Let me delete this. Let me delete this. And you can see it came up and grabbed those sellers. It finally broke through all the buyers. It said, yep, 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 yep. It said, okay, we need some more power. Grabbed it and then pushed all the way down. So we were looking for shorts. And this is one of those things when we talk about any type of Harry Potters. Again, if you're looking for a long there, when you see the base, you got to think it's probably going to break. Is there a trade to the downside? And the answer in this case was there was. It went through, it came back up, and it fought, 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 grabbed those sellers, and then pushed down. I think at this point, I think it's also out. And again, this was late last night. Yeah, that's 1 to 308. So you can see it was all the way down, and then the 830 candle pushed it through. So, and it's still, we're really still playing in the same area. But again, it was at 12 for 36 or 12 for 39. I guess it's almost 13. It's 12.8. That's why you got to watch a lot of these things lately, especially in the overnight. Again, we're using 30-minute candles, so if you just got to kind of take a quick peek at, every 30 minutes, it's not bad at night. Nice little trade. Is it the ideal scenario? No. If you're looking for kind of some whatever reversal, yeah. But as soon as you see that basing, again, two bases like that right before your reversal zone, you got to really question: is this a good place for me to go long? Um, and the answer was it wasn't. You shouldn't have went long from there. Okay, so yeah. Dollar yen. Dollar yen. Funny enough, we were talking about this. It actually ended up going through. We were talking about 1535 being a decent level, and no base obviously beforehand. We talk about it pulling back the bases. There was this little base right here. If you guys can see it, they dropped the base rally. It did come up and grab it. It did actually use it in the overnight at 2 o'clock this morning and push down. So if you had gotten short from there, great. If you looked for a reversal, it kind of went through. It didn't even pause at all. Had you taken it on the other side, again, a green, red, green right here with a pullback, it did actually go back up to that same level. So this has been kind of bouncing between levels, right? Green, red, green there. So it did kind of go around again, kind of challenging to play on this one. There was the 1 to 3 to the downside had you taken it off this confirmation. And again, European Open at 2:30 ish, 3 o'clock range. That's what kind of set this lower. And then immediately when the data came out this morning, unfortunately it missed 150. The low was 150.04, so it missed it by 4 pips to take off to the top side. And I would assume right now, again, this level's blown 1, 2. This is hit number 3. Profit taking is probably going to occur up there if we can get that high. And again, we'll see when the yen strength comes in. But overall, this is one of those ones that you had to be a little bit more hands on with, where a lot of the other ones it's not as hands off. This was definitely much more of a hands on type trade. Again, that European Open was in a decent spot, especially with the confirmation. And again, this confirmation would have been at 7 o'clock last night, so not the worst. And again, surprised by this candle? No, not really. I think that's about where it needed to be. Um, message. Sorry. Just trying to see if this is the boys touring people. I know the woman's name. That's not the last name that I know. Um, but she did not leave a message. She didn't leave a message. Just want to make sure nothing happened with her. They have a school tour tomorrow, so it's kind of like, oh, want to mess that up. Um, yeah. So at this point, if you're long, great. I mean, again, if you were in for a long this morning, again, take some profit. Don't let this one go too far. Oil. So oil, we did talk about a reversal yesterday being 1030. We saw that big surge up again, and it came up and grabbed our zone. That 1030 was the high candle of the morning, right? It was the high, and it continued to roll back, came all the way back down. You can see it started the chop back and forth where the buyers came in. Again, I think we marked this off yesterday, but that's where the buyers were. And again, you can see we hit it. We hit it again, and one, two, three. It based in four. It actually came up and grabbed. So there was actually a small trade this morning. Again, we're talking about where the basing is. If there's a basing above the level, look for it on the break. One, two, three. We expected the break. It came back up, grabbed it at eight, and then pushed. So you could have got short here. You could have got short here, right? All of them were decent shorts. We'll see if we can blow through this level. And again, in a couple minutes, we're going to see the oil inventory report. Again, it basically came in as expected, so not much change. And then today, the oil inventory is expected to be at 2.5 versus the 1.4, but it came in as 1.3. So if it comes in a little bit lower, and not necessarily a surprise. So we'll see how this one runs. I would say other potential profit areas. Look for an area right here if you're a short, right around that 66, 60. Was it 76.57? In 7 minutes, we'll know whether or not this is where it needs to be. Okay. Natural gas. All right, so okay, natural gas rising up from yesterday. We were looking for it to push down. We were actually sitting. Where are we at? Right in here. It did. It pushed back down, grabbed the buyers. It didn't actually make it down. We were looking for it to pop off of this. It got stuck. Europeans took it over here and started to push it back up again. So, we got to push. I'd say right now, what you need to watch out for is the fact that we definitely have selling here. We have a confirmation that came in at 6 o'clock yesterday morning, and we didn't even make it down. So, I mean, the gap actually stepped in to save it. So, we'll see. I think if price can get to 323 or 324, I think we're in a potential shorting area to push it back down. Are we able to clear through the bottom? And we knew today, we knew that there was going to be some headlines on this one. I don't think this really gives much trajectory. It tells us much about what's going on today. Um, yeah, U.S. natural gas prices 1 hour ago gained 2% on colder forecast. Record LNG export feed gas. Yeah, I mean we know why we're exporting record amounts. That's not a surprise. That was expected. I think the market knows that. Maybe it's shocking people, but again, European neighbors are trying to take all the gas now. So yeah, gold, gold. It is down as it should be. We're looking for reversal, and you can see we did get a reversal, but then when it flatlined here, you're like, I think it's time to go. This is one of those ones where you trail it and you're like, all right, listen, it fought, it came down again. If it comes back up here again, I'm getting myself out with a little bit of profit, as you should have. You should have got yourself out right there. So it gave us the reversal. This morning we did actually have a red, green, red, and it came back. It did actually spike above, but I think overall we were looking for shorts from this level. It did break through, and again, the hard part, it's very just grindy over here, so not really a whole lot of clear running. Pull this off right now. I still think this is the overall target, 1947.50. We'll see if it can kind of claw some back from this, but overall, I think the data today, again, retail sales being good, that drives everything else, right? People still spending, great earnings, no crash. Um, those are all positive things. So I think we continue to see this push lower. But would not be surprised if we pop up just a little bit. Again, silver. Silver didn't have the big draw yesterday. We were looking for a good red, green, red. We knew the 23 was going to be an issue, and you can see it did. It popped up and down and came back down and grabbed it another time, and then that's when it took off. Late last night, they almost took off. It's like, hey, let's load this up for tomorrow. And it did. It went up to 23.50. And then the news came out and it started to push back down again. So, there will be the magnetism towards this 23 mark. I think we probably, I personally think it deserves to be down at the 23 mark. I think it's a little bit high right now. But this is the market just setting it up for that data that was coming in. And again, the market set it up correctly. This was a drop from 23.60 down to 23.17, 61. So almost, 45 cents, almost 50 cents in there. It's a decent drop in the morning. So yeah, we'll see where it goes. Again, profit taking will come in from all the sellers. Overall, I think silver is too high. My fundamental basis on this one or bias would be more to the downside. We'll see what we get with tomorrow. You know, silver is also getting a little bit of a perk. We did have some Chinese data come out in the overnight about production was looking great, basically showing that their economy was kind of recovering better than expected. Remember, there is the component of silver that is an industrial metal, and when China does well, silver tends to also do well. So I think that's why we're seeing that kind of movement. All right. Let's see what we got for opening print. I'm actually doing pretty good on time here. I went fast, talking quickly, but again, a lot of these trades just finished. Dollar pulling back again, not surprising. So let's see. Indices are all going up a little bit, and again, I think the indices deserve it. Yeah, as far as opening print goes, these are the moves from yesterday. You can see we got a little bit of a hiccup. We went up, and then we just literally chopped back and forth that line, which is fine. Overnight levels, not clean. I would say I'm okay with this. You can see the 930 was the peak down. Last night, kind of over. I mean, here's kind of your base, and then here's your kind of confirmations. That's where it came into. Could you have traded this one at the open? Yeah, but not super exciting. The 830 drove it down again. The 830, I think it was a gut check response. I don't think it's correct. I think the correct response is higher. Again, people look at that and say, "Oh God, retail sales." They're not raising it because of retail sales, but the retail sales is great for everybody inside of the stock market. Again, companies need people buying things to have good earnings. So I think the green is the right move today. Opening print, would you take this one? Not super clear because it's a down and then an up and then a down, and it did go back in. It is a level formed after hours and confirmed in the overnight from the 3 o'clock and 5:30 window. But was it super clean? Not really. But again, you could have taken this and you'd still be in it right now if you were long. NQ, kind of use that same level. Bounce 2, 3, based in at 4, popped it higher, and then used it. Kind of the similar thing, right? Um, I still think keep this level marked. I think this level's decent. I think your overall profit target when we do go short is here. 945 pushed it down. Yeah, I think long is the right one here. I don't know that I agree. I don't think this is the correct response to that 830 window. This kind of pop up and pop down, but 930, it's kind of sitting there. The open's sitting right. Opens here. It's not really in the zone, right? This is more like a 10:15, 10:30ish reversal than it is anything else. So again, opening print, I would say, yeah, you could have made a case on ES and Cube. No, not really. Again, you had buyers here, sellers up top, and you're sitting right in the middle of the open. So I'd have let that one go. Again, this is not the strongest of levels. 1, 2, 3, break, base, pop. Again, kind of exaggerated Harry Potter, right? Right, but not anything super clean. Yeah, I'd have skipped that one for opening print. YM, yeah, unfortunately, again, there was the news. It was sitting right at the top right beforehand. It popped and went down, and then just ran into the same kind of basing, not clean. So YM probably a little bit of wish washy, and again, being 1030, wouldn't be surprised if this turns and rolls back to the downside. It's not really like the hottest setup. It's kind of like, it's all right. It's all right. Pull this one off. Again, it's got chopped through. And again, yesterday we talked about finding that top. There's a red, there's a green, there's a red. It didn't go as low. So you're like, nope. And then there's a green, and then there's a green red, kind of a green right here, but we're sitting in again, it's more sideways. I wouldn't say that this green is really the best. Green, blew it up, blew it up, blew it up. No, 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 no. Red, green, red. Too many wicks. Not really interested. Red, green, red. Not interested. So again, still don't have a confirmation of a reversal sitting on this one. So still not there yet. Maybe 35.30 is. And again, you can see that it's been held. It's held twice. Hmm. Ooh, okay. Um, Russell. um, all right. So the Russell pop again, I think this drop down is fine, just like we saw with the 23 in silver, the 1800. We mentioned the 1800 yesterday as being an area. Um, as you can see, the price kind of shot back up again, and we're going higher. Um, Honestly, where we are with this one, again, we're seeing decent basing in this one. 1800, just like 23. Again, large round number. If you want to take this one and kind of bracket it in, you're seeing that's all we touched this morning. Is this justified to be green? I think absolutely 100%. Again, retail sales, it affects the Russell a lot. Interest rates, retail sales are two big ones. Seeing this push down is kind of surprising. I think this was just the market loading up. Again, people spending money means companies are making money, which is profit, right? That's exactly what they're supposed to do. That's what their job is, being publicly traded companies. And again, they should be happy. Again, I think this is the perfect response. Seeing that the PPI data was down shows that, hey, listen, the cost of things, right? The change in prices of goods and services, if it's down from what it was before, that's cheaper. That means inflation is not there, but yet people are spending money. Those are great signs, for the Russell. So I think that is the right move. Um, can't say that this is out of the ordinary. Can't say that it's being manipulated. I think this is the exact response you need. And again, if you wanted to trade this off the 1800, I think this is a good spot. Um, so yeah, decent spot. I like it where we are. Um, VIX, I expect VIX to continue to deteriorate today with everything being up there. The dollar, I wouldn't be surprised if the dollar slowly creeps, but at this point, with earnings the way they are, with inflation the way they are, the dollar going back is a sign of the U.S. Economy strength. It's not a sign of interest rates being increased. And at this point, with PPI being that low, maybe we don't need another raise. Maybe we can just hold this a little bit longer. I think we're in a good spot, but I do think the dollar does retrace a little bit. So, all right, 10:33. Melissa does have a call, so I can't go too much longer. I apologize that we had to go fast. Again, my plan today was not to update the broadcasting software and have it erase all of my settings to where I had to scramble and try to reset everything really, really fast. So I do apologize. I do apologize. Thank you guys so much for waiting for me to be able to jump on today. Some decent setups from yesterday. And again, I think the market's kind of resetting right now and we're in a good spot. So plenty of opportunities yesterday. Again, the one thing to take from today is really the lesson of, instead of just trying to call a top, when it's been a long time, use a little bit of confirmation. Grabbing a red, green, red on the top, looking for pullbacks, especially if it confirms, is a great way to trade it. There's been a lot of opportunities out there to trade that actual pattern. So keep looking for that one. With that, let's go and do the drawing for today. We got Marina, Will, and Debbie in. I will give this one an extra 30 seconds. We'll go to 28:30. Remember, it is for 50 today. Again, because I missed last week. Thank God I missed today. It was really, really close. Bum, 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 bum. 15 more seconds. God knows how. I don't even know what the delay is today. It looks like on my screen right now, the delay is about 18 seconds, but I know there's a delay from what it shows me to you guys. So, yeah. God. Yeah. Gotta find all these hidden windows. So, I love technology. I hate technology. All right, here we go. Winner of today's drawing is Debbie. Go, Debbie. Right? Go, Debbie. We had none of the bullies in today, so this one was a fair one. Leadership, let's give it to Debbie. She's going to get a little bit more buffer on neuro. Keep that one rolling. It was number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 3 got it. Shrunk it a little bit. So good job for today. So yeah, don't forget, early morning tomorrow, unemployment claims fully fed. Again, fully fed will be the shocker of the morning if we get anything out there. Let's see, what was the let's do oil real quick. There you go. Look, so it's a little bit of a gain, right? A little bit over 2.5, 3.6. Hurting oil a little bit more. It was already pushing to the downside. So, all right, with that, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys later. Thank you so much, and I'll see you then. Take care.